Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Sly here with Flo, and today we're talking about the first day of training camp. Now, Flo, we were there live in person. We both sat different places, so you kind of got a better look at the first unit of 11-on-11s. I got to see the second unit 11-on-11s when we finally moved, so I could talk about the second part of how Trey Lance did. But what do you think stood out today, man? What did you like? What didn't you like, man? Go for it.
So, man, my favorite thing about today was our first team defense, man. Every single guy from the line to the linebackers to that secondary looked like they were just imposing their will, man. Everyone looked like they have a chance to potentially make a Pro Bowl. That's how good we look in that whole entire unit. Ward looked really good. Bosa was a beast. Fred Warner looks solid. A lot of those guys, man, I think we're going to have a top 5 defense, maybe even 1 or 2. And that's the big thing. Our offense was kind of a little bit worrisome, especially our offensive line. It seemed like they were having struggle against that elite defense. And is it just because our defense is that good, or just our offensive line is kind of sus right now? That we're going to have to wait and see a few more practices, but it just seemed like Trey Lance didn't really have time to look down the field. I didn't see him get a complete anything down like about midway or deep. Everything was kind of short, quick little routes. He hit Ayuk and Jennings most of the time, but he still did good. Got the ball out quick. His mechanics looked pretty good, but he just didn't have that time to look for that deep shot.
Yeah, I thought there's a few players that look good. I'm just going to go straight at it, man. I thought a guy who I think probably is going to get cut, not going to make the 53-man roster, but today he actually showed signs where, oh shoot, this guy actually might make the team, and that was Castro Fields out of Penn State. I thought he actually looked really good. There was a part where Shanahan was quarterback, and they had like these receivers that looked like college kids running routes, and honestly, Castro Fields looked like the fastest dude out there, man. It looked like he was, it just looked like he was playing chess and everyone else was playing checkers, man. He just had that speed. You could tell he had that 4.3 speed because he got an interception from Shanahan. I know it's Shanahan, but still, dude, I'm telling you guys, he looked freaking fast out there. And then he got another tip ball, man. He looked really good. So that right there impressed me. I was like, oh man, actually, I might have to wait and reserve my thoughts about Castro Fields because he actually looked really good today. He stood out to me. Another thing that stood out, Burford, he actually started at right guard. Brunskill was not there. So, is he going to start? I don't know. Burford actually impressed me in OTAs. He looked really good. I remember one-on-one, I heard he was dominating Eric Armstead. And the fact that he was starting today at right guard, that's a good sign for him. So he might beat out Brunskill. I've never been a fan of Brunskill. I'm sorry. I've never been a fan of him. So if he could do that and beat him out, he's only 22 years old. But remember, he was a 4-star recruit out of high school. And the guy looks apart, man. He's a big, huge guy. And if you've seen his videos, he likes tacos, baby. So that stood out. Anything else? Any other guys stood out to you? Individuals?
Yeah, Malik Turner, man. Yeah. He gave himself a shot at making this team. He caught a deep bomb from, I believe it was Nate Sudfeld. Down the left sideline, beat the corner. The corners played it pretty good, but the ball was just right over basket catch.
I believe it was Ambry Thomas he beat.
Yeah, Ambry Thomas. And like I said, Ambry Thomas was there, but it was just a good concentration and went for a touchdown. So he gave himself a shot. And what's the name? Tight end. I can't think off the top of my head.
Ross Dwelly?
Not Dwelly.
82, he did good. He made a few catches. Tight end, Kittle, right?
No, Jordan Matthews.
Matthews, yes.
He had a deep pass that went for a touchdown towards the end of practice, so that's always a good way to finish up practice. And obviously our tight end's another spot we're going to have competition, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think Jordan Matthews really impressed me. He caught I think it was like a slant, and he just took it to the house, man. When he caught that ball, he just took off. I think that was the last play, one of the last plays, and after the play, man, George Kittle just ran up to him and was like, just fist bumped him. It felt like we won the Super Bowl that play, man. He looked really good out there with that one catch. I know he's going to be fighting for a roster spot, but if he does stuff like that, he's got a chance of making this team, man. So I was really impressed there. Trey Lance, I heard he went 9 for 11, but that's I didn't see that. Like I said, I didn't see the first part of it because I saw it pretty crappy. So I saw the second part, and I wrote down notes how he did. So Lance, when I saw it was probably his 6th or 7th throw. So this is what I got. Lance, he threw a flat to Juice. It was to the flats. It was about a 4-yard gain. Then he threw a 5-yard hit to Kittle. I think it was an out. Then he had an incomplete pass to, you know what? It was, I think, Mac. It was Mac, and Mac foul, and Mosley, he tipped it, you know. And honestly, even if he didn't fall, I think Mosley was right there, man. Mosley was a stud today. I think he broke up 2 passes. Then Lance had a play action bootleg, and he found Dwally for, I believe, an 8-yard gain. Then he threw it to number 47 for a 7-yard gain. Then he threw it to Kittle, a nice 10-yard out, and Kittle actually made a nice catch. At first, I thought, oh, shoot, is he hurt? Because he actually was on the sideline, but then he got up and he was fine. And he actually, so he looked pretty good for me. My official stats, I think he went 4 for 5. He looked pretty solid, nothing deep. It was just the first practice, so I know these guys are going to go crazy out there. You know, I heard Sutfield went 11 for 11, so that's pretty good for him. And, you know, it might be pretty awesome seeing a good, solid backup. But Lance, he was just going short, intermediate passes. That one that Mac foul, that was probably the longest pass that I saw. But he looked pretty solid, man. He was throwing spirals out there. He looks apart, man. He's 6'4", big body, and you know what? I really think that he's going to have a big year. I really do. I know a lot of people are hating on there. The guys got on Twitter or bashing on that guy, Callie, that's always bashing him every day. But I think he's ready, man. I think he knows it's his team now, and he's been working in this offseason. I think he's going to have a pretty solid year, man.
Yeah, man, and I liked it. Obviously, he didn't hit that big play, but going 9 for 11, he took what the defense gave him, and sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to play, throw the jab, do the long-term boxing game, set up the defense, and for a young guy to not be forcing things, that's good. It shows the level of growth he's had, understanding you don't always have to win with a big chunk play, even though he does have the arm strength to let that ball rip when the time comes. And it's first practice. Usually offense takes a little bit while to catch up to the defense. The defense always starts off hot, especially with the elite defense like this. So I think as the weeks progress, they're going to air it out a little more. The thing I wish I would have saw more was some of these rookie guys. I didn't really see any rookie that stood out to me. Womack looked good in the drills. He had pretty solid hands. Danny Gray, he kind of botched one punt return that kind of had me a little worried, but I do love Danny Gray's game. Obviously a young guy, so that does happen early on. Anyone else from the rookies that you saw?
You know what? Ty Davis Price had a really good run. I know he had like 1 or 2 good runs. He looks apart. The guy that actually impressed me, and you could tell from his offseason what he was doing, is Trey Sermon. He's more in shape this year. He had a nice handoff. I think it was under shotgun formation and took off for, I think, 15 yards. So he actually looked pretty good. I was pretty excited to see that. Brandon Ayuk, I know he caught a few passes, but he didn't catch any against the starters. He didn't catch any against Charvarius Ward. I think Charvarius Ward, they didn't even throw the ball at him, man. He was so good out there. And then Mosley was another lockdown corner. So I think this lockdown, these 2 guys right here, man, I think these are the best corners we've had since I can't remember, man. Honestly, I know this is going to be Mosley's last year. We're not going to be able to sign him next year, guys, because he's going to have a big year this year. You can already tell from the training camp, man. The guy's a stud, and I'm excited to see what these 2 cornerbacks are going to bring to the table all year long, because I think this is going to be one of the better 2 cornerbacks, 1-2 punch in the NFL.
Yeah, not just even those 2. The other guys in the secondary, I'm telling you, this is the first time I've seen the secondary look confident, and I think that is because they brought in Charvarius Ward. Mosley re-signed him, and then Hufanga looked good out there too. He looked like he was flying to the ball, and then Jimmy Ward, man, he just brings that kind of dog, that swagger to us. So I'm liking the secondary. It's the first time I could probably say that in I don't know how long that I think we have a secondary that could actually compete and probably lock up some of these receivers out there.
Yeah, there was one play that's kind of funny. I think he was undrafted free agent, Marcelino Ball. And he freaking tackled, I think it was poor Hasty, man. He freaking tackled him, boom! And then you saw freaking Chris Kasarik out there. Hey, man, what the fuck? You're not supposed to be tackling him, man. What the fuck? Like, he was telling him. But honestly, to tell you the truth, though, Ball, man, he freaking lit him up, though. So it was freaking cool seeing him, just penetrating and just making a move, it kind of stood out to me, but even though you're not supposed to be tackling, especially the first day of training camp. So that was really funny seeing him get chewed out a little bit, but that was cool, man. I really like that.
Yeah, and then one guy that you pointed out, I didn't even freaking recognize him at first, was Kinlaw, man. That guy looks like he's ready for this upcoming season. Look big, but even at that big size, he looked like he was quick too. So I can't wait to see what Kinlaw does this year. I think he's finally going to have a solid season, and I can't wait to see what he does.
You said that what's his name made a play, Leon O'Neal, right?
Leon O'Neal.
Okay, I didn't see it because we were sitting in different spots. So you said you saw it.
Yeah, he made up some ground. tipped it to who was our corner at that time, where he almost had a chance at a pick. It would have been like a shoelace pick, but that catch up speed, I was a little bit worried though, because when he landed on one leg and it looked like he had a buckle to it. But just seeing that athleticism, that closeout speed, the length, as far as his like wingspan, I think if he continues working, maybe he has a chance at making this team practice squad potentially for next year, and he's going to be another guy I want to see the next time we roll out there.
Yeah, man. One thing really was happening when they were going 11-on-11s, the ball was getting out quick, man. It was getting out super quick, man. Our guys really, you could tell there was penetration. Our offensive line was holding up, but I mean, I'm telling you, even Lance, because Lance last year he was holding the ball a lot. He was getting the ball out like boom, boom, boom. It was quick, little short passes, intermediate passes. I think as it goes on, man, I think we might see more sacks because, like I said, I think our guys are going to take chances. They're going to go deep more. And it's just going to be interesting to see our O-line going against our D-line. I know we had a lot of backups out there because Trent Williams wasn't there. Mike McGlinchey wasn't there. So we had a lot of young guys out there. Brendel, obviously, he's going to be our starter. So it's going to be interesting to see how this progresses as training camp goes along. So it was fun out there seeing that. Anything else?
Yeah, we'll definitely see a lot more shotgun this year because I think Trey Lance really has a good rapport with these receivers. Ayuk and Jennings specifically, they almost seem like number 1s and 2s out there. And then obviously we still have Debo coming back, who was running on the sideline. We knew he would be there. We knew he was going to support the team. We knew he wasn't going to practice, but we knew Debo was going to be there. And the crowd actually gave him his love. They should have been chanting, "Pay the man," but man, I can't wait to see this receiving core as well.
Yeah, it was cool seeing Debo out there. There was one point in practice when they were going 11-on-11s, and Debo had the whole field to himself, and he was actually running routes, and they were having one of the guys throw at him. One of them was a freaking duck, though. It looked like was like Cody Pickett was our quarterback. Remember Cody Pickett back in the day? He just threw the ball straight to the gout, or was that guy named Dorsey, whatever, that Dorsey water pistol arm. So that's kind of what we saw there. But I mean, it was cool, man, seeing Debo out there running routes, looking solid. He looks in shape, man. I know he was a little bit chubby earlier, but now you can tell that this guy, he's back in shape, ready to go. And it was pretty exciting to see, man.
Yeah, and speaking of ducks, man, I hate to throw people under the bus, but freaking Brock, man, it looked like he looked like he had a water pistol arm out there today. I hate throwing rookies under the bus, but he needs to work on his mechanics, fire those balls in there, have some confidence because he threw a lot of shoelace passes today.
Yeah. Also, one guy I want to give a shout out to is Ross Dwelly, man. He caught a few passes. He's Mr. Reliable, man. There was one catch, I think it was from Sutfield. It was a little off target, but he still caught it. He caught a few from Trey Lance, too. He's like Mr. Reliable, man. Every time you throw this guy the ball, he's going to get it. The guy's like 6'5", man. And I just think he needs to be out there in the passing game more. Have him do blocking, but not as much, That's not his specialty. His specialty is going out there and making plays, kind of like, he's kind of reminding me of Kelsey. Kelsey's not the best blocker out there, but they have him out there passing patches. So I think he looked good out there. There was one guy, I think it was Holland, the cornerback, who got toasted a lot. Poor guy, man. He was getting abused out there. Number 24. Every time when I first saw him, I thought, oh, K'Wan Williams is joking around, but it was Holland. And man, poor guy, man, he was just getting worked out there.
Yeah, man, he had a rough first day of camp, and yeah, I do agree with you for Dwelly. I won't give him the Travis Kelsey title, but I'll give him a guy like Hunter Henry maybe, where he's always consistently catching those 15-yard slants or stuff like that. So I do like Dwelly, but man, like I said, Jordan Matthews put himself in a position. I didn't really get to see Warner out there too much, and then who's the other guy we picked up from Cincinnati? I didn't get to see him.
Oh yeah, dude, I saw him. Tyler Hudson.
Dude,
I'm sorry. When we got to move closer because we were in bad seats, so they actually let us go to the middle. And when I saw him up and close, oh my gosh, that guy looks skinny, man. He did not look like an NFL player. I was like, what the hell? This guy's a tight end, Tyler Hudson, man. He looked really skinny. So I don't know, man. I don't know if he's gonna make the team, man, because he did not look like a tight end in the NFL. He was like next to Kittle and Dwelly, and I was like, damn, man, this guy, he's got to hit the weight room or something because he did not look the part at all.
So he might be the odd man out this year then.
Yeah, but Colin McKivitz, he looked good. I saw him. He was the starter. Remember, week 18 against the Rams, that big game we had to win when we didn't have Trent Williams. He was out there, and he actually was solid for us, and he actually did pretty solid. He was holding up his ground against Nick Bosa, who was freaking coming. But the good thing for him is that our guys were getting that ball out quick. Like I said earlier, they were getting the ball out really quick. So he was fine out there. And then Jalen Moore was on the other side, and he was holding his own up too. So it was pretty good to see. But like I said, a lot of that had to do with our quarterbacks getting the ball out quick intermediate passes out there. So yeah, man. Anything else?
No, I think that's it for me.
Yeah, man. So it was really cool to see out there what was going on. It was really fun. I might go back one more time. We'll see. I kind of don't want to watch from the other side though, because we were always right there in the corner, and we had the practice was going on the other field, so that freaking sucked. That's why I only got to see the second part of Trey Lance, the 11-on-11s, because they finally let us go over there to the middle of the field. Which, I mean, damn, I wish they did that earlier though, so I could get a better look. You know, I know you stand in the middle, so you got better looks than I did.
Yeah,
at the beginning.
Like I said, I only got to see about 7 of his passes. One of them went down the middle. I couldn't even really make it out that much. Like I could see Trey Lance. And he went to the tight end. I don't remember who, and it was deflected. And other than that, he hit Jennings and Ayuk twice, and then he went to the backs about 2 times. But like I said, it was just short intermediate passes. But I don't mind that, especially when the defense is coming at you. You got to get the ball out and make that defense play a little bit honestly, you know?
And one guy I'm going to say is going to make this team. I know Grant said today that he's not going to make the team, but he's going to make the team, dude. And that's Malik Turner, man. That catch he made. And he was doing this in OTAs and minicamp. Remember that? He was making deep passes. He kind of seems like the guy that's going to go deep for us. He's a true veteran. I think he's only 26, so he's in his prime right now. And that catch right there, I don't know who ever played Madden out there. There was a catch where you're able to do a super catch where you turn to the right a little bit, then you let go, and then he like jumps up in the air. That's what it looked like when he made that sick ass catch, dude. That was a badass play. You know, Ambry Thomas played it pretty well, but man, Malik Turner, he looked like a stud out there doing that thing. So he's going to make this team.
Yeah, man, I think he's going to be that deep threat option for us. I think Ray could also do that too, but I didn't really get to see much of Ray. And then Danny Gray, I didn't see him. But then again, we were on the, like you sliced it, we were on the exact opposite side of the field. And you kind of lucked out to getting into the middle during that second half, but I wasn't going to fight through the whole crowd just to get up there.
And one thing that happened, there was a little bit of scare. Al Shair actually got hurt and went down, and people were wondering what the heck happened. I think him and Juice collided, and everyone was like, oh shit, here we go again. They had a stretcher come around. I was like, no, but I guess he just got the wind knocked out of him, so he's okay, and he actually came back, so that's a really good sign, man. He came back, so no actually big injuries to report at all, no injuries at all other than that, but he came back, so that's the number one thing, most important thing, that there's no injuries. And remember what happened in 2020, man, that kind of ruined our season with all these injuries, but everyone's healthy, so that's good. That's the best part of this day one of training camp.
All right, well, we'll keep you guys informed. If we go to another practice, we'll let you know, give you guys our insights. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. See y'all next time.
Peace.